Good afternoon, guys. Leslie at Inskeep Bakers. Oh, I've already done all my morning chores and things like that. I think we're going to work in the garden today. Not sure where I left off the other day or how much I got recorded, but we weed-eated and kind of mowed around some of this stuff. Take a look at our tomatoes here. Some of these are getting, I'm not really sure, it almost looks like brown spots like bugs are eating them, but I'm gonna have to look into that. I need to bring out some more of that mulch stuff that we screened off the potting soil, put around these, and then I need to get some lettuce or something planted around these. Some of these spinach are starting to take off pretty well. Nothing on the sweet potatoes yet. I expect them to take a little while, but there are 3 rows, about where my fingers are, of lettuce. Nothing on the carrots yet, but all of the radishes are coming up pretty well. I don't know how easily you can see through the screen, but it looks like the front half of everything is doing really well. We got a really heavy rain shortly after I planted these, so it may have kind of washed some seeds down. We'll see. Rhubarb. This little guy's maybe starting to take off a little bit. This new one that I planted from Azure is larger than the other one now. Our weeds and horseradish is taking over. I weed-eated around all of that bed. We mowed and weed-eated around all of this stuff. We have a bunch of, kind of hard to see, lilac bushes along there that we planted a year or 2 ago, and they're starting to come up. Got that cleaned up. Jason ended up tilling all of this for me, so it was still pretty wet yesterday. I was kind of waiting for it to dry a little bit. I've got my fertilizer out here. I'm going to fertilize it and get my landscape cloth back down on it, and then hopefully I can get those tomatoes planted out here today. That's my plan, at least. I went and found, I don't know that this one will keep the cats out because the cattle panels are bigger holes. They could still kind of get in them, but at least it's kind of a deterrent, hopefully. I did plant the kale and kohlrabi that we bought at the greenhouse in town. I did that last night. They were all kind of laid over. I watered them in, and looks like they're perking back up this morning, so need to get those watered. Yeah, I don't know. This garden bed is my main focus today. I probably need to go weed around the onions, but that's the main focus. Get the tomatoes in, and then figure out what the next step is going to be. Guess we can go see what the onions look like. I need to get in here with the weed eater again, and I need to get all these beds kind of weeded. Oh, I know, we need to go and take where I put the plastic and landscape cloth down to kill grass. We need to go see if we can pull that up and start kind of combining some of these beds to be like out there. Onions look like they're doing really well. I think I went through, and I think there was like 11 rows of 18, and I think I counted like maybe around 10 of them didn't come up, and it looks like maybe some of those have started coming up. Very few missing. So I need to get in here and get the weeds out between the rows. I never did get these strawberries and asparagus any sort of mulch or anything on them. So weeds are taking that over again. I need to get in there. It's looking like we're starting to get some little strawberries growing. Oh yeah, look at, reach in there. Little strawberries all over. Yay. So excited. Oh, that reminds me, out by these beds out here, ooh, shiny object, bunch of lettuce coming up. Some of that stuff that I said it must have went to seed last year, it's actually kind of all mixed in here, so I come cut some of that. And a little bit more there. Out here, yesterday I noticed when I was running the weed eater around all of these beds, there is actually a strawberry plant out here. I don't know how well you guys can, it's kind of in the shadow, but that is a strawberry. So I'm gonna have to dig that up. Looks like I cut the top of it off. At least I believe that's a strawberry. That's what it looks like. I don't know. I'll dig it up and see what it looks like. Okay. You come to get into my garden beds, Ricardo? Yeah, he's gonna go run off and hide on me. Alright, this is that bucket of fertilizer that we mixed up together the other day. I'm just gonna go through, I'm gonna sprinkle this. Ooh. Down. Trying to kind of get the whole thing, but specifically kind of where I know the holes are burned in the landscape cloth. Guess before I should do that, I should kind of rake that in a little bit. I wanted to get this cloth down so that I could kind of walk on it. Alright, that's enough to hold it down. There's less than a cup of this left, so I'm just going to take it and sprinkle it around this stuff that we planted the other day. So I did not fertilize that. And then when I water it, it'll should kind of water most of it down and in. So that was one batch of fertilizer. Oh, Jason's home. Okay, now I have to go dig in the shed. I call it the snake pit because they like to sneak in there, and I don't do snakes. And find my other 2 rows of landscape cloth and my staples. Alright, we made it in and out of the snake pit without any mishaps. The ends of these are really starting to fray, so I need to melt those. I need to get one of those little like handheld butane torches, but this is what we used to burn the holes last year. This is only my 2nd year using this fabric, but I do know that you have to be prepared to stomp it out. Ugh. Stretch it just so it doesn't crinkle quite so far. I think that should do it. So this end has to go down to here. I'm not sure if these are the same length or not. They should have the same holes. I know the one on this side goes all the way in and kind of under my gate. And I'm going to go down and start at the other end and do the same thing, pinning it all the way down. Now that I look at it, I actually think that one is supposed to be on this side because they were offset. Guess I'm going to have to switch them. Guess it doesn't really matter. Let's see. Because these holes are not going to line up very well to plant down this side. I think I'm just going to leave it the way it is. Oh, looks like I need to go get some more stakes now. Alright, I just grabbed a handful of stakes. Probably just throw most of them right down here. So I ordered a bulb auger to open these holes up to plant in. We'll see if Amazon comes through today. He says, no way. Mom's up here, big guy. You're not supposed to pass that fence, sir. And I know you're not going to help garden, so. Where's your brother? Sleeping?
Abel.
Good boy.
Jumping over the panel.
Well, he can do it. He's pretty agile if he tries. It's like in the 40s or 50s overnight, and now it's just over 80. This is crazy. That's why I got a bunch of baby goats with icky eyes and snotty noses. Whoa. Well, this is not going to stay because this is pretty loose. So I'll have to keep an eye on that. I was telling Jason the other day that I had like 38 tomato plants to count. Apparently I forgot how to count because I don't have 38. I think there's 26, not counting the cherry tomatoes, but the ones to come out here. I started counting the 6-packs as 6, and then I started counting them as 12, I guess. I don't know. Well, my mic died, of course, so I just wanted to bring you guys in closer and show you the landscape fabric. And I was just talking about how the 2 rows will be a little bit closer on the far side, leaves a little bit more of a walkway here. Here's what we've got coming up in the sunroom. This is a tray that we planted when we were out on the deck the other day. It looks like all but 2 of the tomatillos are coming up. That's what these little ones out here are. These are probably kind of hard to see them. But we've got a row of kohlrabi. Oh, what was early prolific? I think that was that yellow squash. Those all sprouted. Zucchini. It looks like 4 of the 5 are coming up. Table Queen was our acorn squash. Butternut, so far 3 of our 4. None of our spaghetti squash have come up yet. That's this row. Sugar baby watermelons, all sprouted. The blue Hubbard squash. And these are the cantaloupe. 1, 2, Looks like maybe 3 of those are coming up. Probably take this saran wrap off of here now. These are the leeks. I'm sure they're not all sprouted, but a lot of them are coming up. Our herbs probably not doing as well as they were previously. I think I was overwatering them, but I do have some cumin starting to come up, so that's exciting. And then this is corn and a few other things. I showed you a picture of those. Oof. This is corn and sunflowers. I don't know how well you can see those coming up. And then these are our peppers. So everything's doing pretty well out here. Well, it's been 2 days since we put the landscape fabric down. I got sidetracked helping Jason that day. So today we're going to put in our T-posts and get our tomatoes planted. It looks like I need to come through and put a few more staples in, but I think I'll do that once I've kind of already walked on it and mangled it up a little bit, and then I'll come back and I'll be able to see where it needs staples. But there are 26 tomato plants to go in here. We already planted our cherry tomatoes, so that is just all of the Romas, and then I think we have just 2 slicer tomatoes, I believe is what it was. I'll have to look at them again. So I'm gonna see if I can do this myself. Jason's trying to get our farm mower started, so usually I don't have an issue doing them myself, but sometimes they don't always cooperate. And usually I don't have to put them into a hole in the fabric. Probably going to have to end up making these holes a little bit larger to fit the T-post and auger my hole to plant the tomato in, which is fine. Have to see. I think my Romas are probably all determinate tomatoes, which means they won't grow very tall. These slicers, I assume, are probably indeterminates, but I have not looked. So these may not be tall enough for them, but we'll make it work. I do want to mention that my son made this T-post driver for a 4-H welding project. It's a little bit abused, but it gets used all the time. And it's been amazing. Well, I guess my camera decided to turn off on me again, so you guys missed part of putting that stuff together, putting the T-posts in. That's okay. I was just trying to figure out what I had here. I have, 12 Roma plants. 1, 2, 3. So I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we'll go 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What else do I have? Then I have San Marzano, which is also a Roma. These are an indeterminate, so they're going to be most likely taller. So we're going to put them to the north side. I thought these were all Romas, but there's, I guess, 18 Romas. Then I have 6 Celebrity, which is a slicer. They are a determinate. And then 2 Big Boys, which are indeterminate. So I think if I go 6, 6, 6, I can put the Celebrities 2, 4, 6 in the rows, and the Big Boys can be the last 2 on the end. So I'm going to take them down there. So these will be this 6, and these can be, these 2. And just me walking, these are all spreading, so I'm going to have to probably put some staples in between. Most likely I'm going to have to put probably some staples kind of down the center of them. Get this out of the way. And I will show you. This is the auger that I bought. I just got it off of Amazon. This, I believe I ordered the 4-inch. I looked at the 3-inch, but I think the 4-inch for now will be better. It's a 4-inch by 12. I think it's going to be perfect for putting these in. Last year I had to kind of take a shovel in my hand and dig out each hole to get the tomato planted. So we're going to try this out and see how it works. I think I need to make each of these holes kind of an oval. Without the T-post in, I think it would have been fine. Probably when I ordered the auger, I probably should have ordered myself a butane torch to go with this, or with the auger, but didn't think about it. Ooh, that was a little big. Now these holes are all smaller because last year I planted zucchini and all of my squash, pumpkins, and things like that along here. So I just needed a hole big enough for the plant to come through, and I didn't plant those as deep. As I will tomatoes. But I still kind of struggled, like I said, getting, whoops, the hole dug out. And I had seen some other people use a bulb auger like this. And that's where I got the idea from. That one's still going. It is one thing that I learned last year is you really have to watch when you are melting it that it wants to continue melting. Sometimes you get them caught a little bit more. Instead of just melting it, the flame lights up. Okay, so the San Marzano is a 70 to 90 day to mature, indeterminate. So I think I'm gonna try going through and just drilling out the 6 holes for these. And then hopefully, well, let's try one and see how it goes. And say hopefully I don't fling too much dirt that I can't get it filled back in. I am going to pull the bottom leaves off so that I could plant it somewhat deeper. I'm going to carefully loosen up these roots a little bit. And let's see if I can feel that the dirt's kind of mounded up underneath of it. That'll kind of help create a well that when it gets water on the plant, it will hold it there. I'm going to pull a little bit in. And when it comes to tying these up, I just use a cotton yarn or twine and then just tie the main stem up as they grow. So I think that worked pretty well. I am going to put my San Marzano tag here. At least I can go back on the video and be able to tell what I planted where, because I'll probably forget, and if I lose the tag, that doesn't help. I'm going to try on this one kind of standing on the fabric, so maybe I don't get as much underneath. I think that worked a little bit better to keep the fabric down. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and plant the rest of these San Marzanos. Oh. And then I'll go through and drill the next row of holes. This is where my soil blocks would be a little bit easier. I don't have to fight them out of the plastic. So this isn't quite how I did the cherry tomatoes because I did those in a sideways trench, but taking some of the leaves off and burying it down is essentially the same. And I do hope to get my irrigation lines put at least on these tomatoes, or at least these beds out here. So that'll be one of the next things I do, but I need to get some of those beds in there set up and ready. Okay, that is San Marzanos. Bring you in a little bit closer just to show you the auger. This hole's pretty tight. So, I made a mess with that one, but I mean, I'm down that far. Going to take one of these Roma plants. And you can kind of see how the roots they're not root bound, but they're all kind of over the place. And I'm going to take off these bottom leaves. And they're starting to get a couple little suckers there that grow in between. So I'm just going to kind of open those up a little bit, drop it in, and then backfill it. And it's that easy. So I'm gonna go through and do the rest of the Romas and then our slicers down there. And then we'll have to get them watered in. Tomatoes are done. I will hook up my hose and then bring you guys back to water them in. Alright, go ahead and just kind of walk through and show you the tomatoes. I'm going to go through and water them all in. Starting down here at the far end. This is how they will be watered every day. I think I can just set up an irrigation line for each row. So I can get 3 lines. And they should all be able to put shutoffs on them. So I can only water what I need. I mean, I imagine the tomatoes will all get watered the same amount. But it seems like this row over here, when I was augering the dirt, seemed to be holding much more water than the rest of it. I think that's about all we're gonna get done for today. We're going out to dinner tonight, so mater's done. Everything's watered. Other than getting the rest of the garden beds finished and cleaned up, that's about all I've got for today. So that's it, guys. Have a good day. See you on the next one.